What's going on, guys? BladeZilla here, and today we're taking a look at this special Microtech stitch. A pretty awesome one. I've had a number of these come through, and I wanted to do a quick video before I threw this one up on the store because, it's pretty unique, and I've had, dozens of stitch configurations come through in the last little while, and it's getting harder and harder to get these carbon ones. I've had some amphibians come through. I've had some MSIs come through in carbon and DLC, and finally a stitch. So figured I would show this guy and give you a little perspective on it, because I think it's a cool knife, and certainly is a bit of a one-off. But figured I'd give it 5-10 minutes in a video just to kind of chat about it and give it the attention it deserves. So nothing too crazy today. It's a casual fireside conversation as always. Also, visit my web store, BladeZilla.ca. In Canada, a lot of the knives featured on this YouTube channel are available. Got some cool ones right now, some new Quantums, the new CKF Echo Splinter, super sick. And then a couple Microtech annexes that are on sale, which, by the way, I actually just added a sale tab, which feel free to check out. So that's brand new, and yeah, not going to advertise that stuff, but it'll just drop some stuff in there every now and then. So keep coming back. That's BladeZilla.ca. Sound like an infomercial, like United Furniture Warehouse or something. Anyway, we're not here for that. We're here for this. So super sick knife. I will say this, like, compared to their G10 offering, it feels much more solid in hand, and the G10s actually feel unbelievable too. I should also say, and then even the latest batch of the aluminum stitches, they just they feel so great. I guess the beauty of this one, if we get up close on it, the beauty is you're kind of getting the weight and durability of the G10 in the package with the strength of the aluminum. That's kind of how I would see it. So I've had kind of two trains of thought on buying G10 versus aluminum. The G10 being a little bit more durable. Just trying to get it to focus. It does not like the dark colors. The G10 being a little more durable in the pocket, keys, etc. don't scratch it. It kind of slides over it like Teflon Dawn. Whereas aluminum's a little more solid feeling, but it scratches, it marks, it scuffs, that kind of thing. And then I guess the intangibles, if you're in Canada, like I am obviously, in the wintertime, an aluminum knife gets a little cooler, a little colder in the hand. So something to think about, whereas G10 doesn't tend to kind of freeze and transmit that cold temperature into your hand. And aluminum's obviously not the best conductor, but it's still it's a metal, so you do feel that. So this guy, super sick. I guess we'll start with it's a fingerprint magnet on this DLC. Looks great, non-serrated edge, which is kind of the more desirable configuration as far as I can tell. Nice blade. Let's flip that guy over. What do we got on the back here? Nothing really, just nice standard stitch in your hand. I love it because it kind of gives me the rosy vibes with that choke up on the front there, right? You can kind of pull up and use it for fine slicing, etc. But that's a nice little touch. I've always loved that about the stitch design. The ram lock itself, it's so tried and true. It snaps home real nice too. They're all dated as well, typically on the clip. These batch, I think, were fall 2023. And then I believe they did some Julys as well. So there should be some more of these coming at some point. So figure, why not get ahead of it? Nice back spacer that's matching as well in that DLC coat, which is great. I had somebody also mention that, I guess on their signature series is where they do the DLC, whereas on the other blades, I guess I just know them by part numbers, but the other black blades, they're just painted. So this is a true DLC. They are quite different. I'm not going to open up any and show the difference, but it's night and day in terms of paint versus DLC. You see through it, you see the stone wash. And actually, I thought I was looking at this side, and you can kind of see even like some milling on how they carve that edge in. If it wants to focus, you may not see it. But anyway, they do some mill work on it, and then they must stonewash it, I would assume. Got the Marfione logo. Marfione, pretty sweet. And this one just really snaps home. Like, can just feel it go right in. Oh, it's nice. That's what she said. Otherwise, let's get some weights, and I guess I'll do some measurements on this. May as well. It shouldn't be any different than a standard stitch, I would imagine. But let's take a look. Overall length, 8.5. Blade length of 3-inch grind, 3.5 to the center of the choil. And a handle of, what, 5 inches? 4 3/4, something like that. Let's get a weight on this guy. Let's get a weight on this guy. Try not to scar up anything here. Actually, let's go for the double fold. Feels like a double fold kind of day. Okay. 160 grams. Let's double check it's zeroed. Yep. 160 for my Canadian gram counters, and 5.7 ounces. It's 5.6, 5.7 ounces, which, you know, I don't think that's going to be any lighter, now that I think about that, than a standard stitch. And like I said, if I wanted to open up a couple and take a look, I could probably get the weights, but there's no real point. I do recall that they were fairly hefty, but they are meant to be hard users. I do want to take a quick peek on the inside of this as well, just to kind of see if we're looking at, if it is milled out. I don't think they would on carbon, but I have seen that on some other competing lines. Yeah, it's just plain and simple on the inside. No need to take away any of the structural integrity on it, which is fine. And then the beauty of the stitch design itself is just so versatile. A lot of lefties love it. You can kind of flip the clip on either side, which is awesome, with a couple screws, which I think look to be like T10s or so. The main pivot looks to be T25. So that's really nice. You know, it's just such a good versatile knife. If you're, you know, carpenter or heavy user on this kind of stuff, like, it's just easily accessible. You know, you can reverse flick it, thumb flick it. You can just literally pull the lever and whip it out. It's just a beautiful knife for that kind of stuff. Good fit and finish. It's Microtech, made in the States. The beauty of the Signature series is just there's not many of them, and they seem to hold their value really, really well. I wouldn't put it in the same category as, say, like a custom division from Shirogorov, although there are some Signature series from Microtech that certainly kind of go up to that price point and beyond into the custom range. But, you know, to me, this is a production level with some bells and whistles with the DLC and the carbon fiber materials. Nothing more, but just extremely limited and hard to find. So, super, super cool that I was able to at least get this guy in. You know, shout out to my buddy in Toronto that was able to sort this, so appreciate you. And yeah, is it Toronto or is it Ontario? Somewhere in Ontario. I thought it was Toronto. Anyway, we're not going to go there. Really cool knife. And figured why not do a little quick 5-10 minute video on showing some of the angles, and you know, when these special ones do come in, they are nice to kind of at least do a video on. And I know if you search YouTube, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of videos probably on the Microtech Stitch. It is a tried and true knife, and there's lots of them. I'm looking at about, I don't know, 30 of them beside me. So pretty cool. You know, really popular design here, and for obvious reasons. The ram lock's just super reliable. Blade ergos, it's fidgety. It's a beautiful knife. Really dig it. Really, really dig it. Glad I was able to source this guy. So there you go. Alright, well, that is the Microtech Stitch in Signature Series in black carbon fiber with a flat grind, non-serrated DLC blade. Actually, funny enough, I don't know what steel this is. I'm assuming it's M390, but usually it's written on the blade, and I don't actually know what it is in this case, but I'm assuming, like all the other ones, they're M390. And it's probably hiding somewhere underneath that DLC coat. Pretty cool. Alright guys, well, appreciate you stopping by and checking this guy out, and if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and you know, add me on Instagram. Facebook, I just created a Facebook BladeZilla page, which is awesome. And TikTok, which is basically copy-paste of Instagram. So that's a thumbs up. All right. Have yourself a great week, and we'll talk soon, guys. All right. Peace.